Hi everyone, I'm Estie Rubinstein, a cyber researcher at IBM. I specialize in web research. Thanks for joining me. This session will focus on one of the most powerful feature bankings malware used for web injection. Malware go to great lengths to hide their traces, fetch them in real time, and lately delete them entirely. This technical session will prove that malware can run but cannot hide. Going head-to-head with attackers means coming up with new and ingenious ways to detect attacks. We'll cover a special case crafted in our research lab, so stay tuned until the end. You won't want to miss it. So, who is DB Cooper and what is his story? DB Cooper is a media nickname used to refer to a known man who hijacked flight and blackmailed $200,000 and was parachuted into the forest to an uncertain destiny. In our lab, we found an injection that mimics Cooper behavior, which leaves no trace behind. To hear more about, let's start from the beginning. Before we go any deeper, let's go over this skill chain for understanding how the attack unfolds. The first step is delivery, using an innocent message to target the victim. A second one is infection. The victim becomes infected. Next one is user browses to the bank site. As a victim browses to the bank, the fraudster is working behind the scenes. The next one is attribute harvesting for spoofing purposes. The fraudster will appear more legitimate by using these details: credential steering, password, and username. And from here, there are two options. The classic is two-factor authentication bypass and complete full account takeover. The second method is IBAN swapping. IBAN is international bank account number, and the special about it is being performed at the transaction stage. We'll deep dive into this technique in the next slides. But before that, let's talk more about delivery and infection. There are many ways malware can enter your computer. One of them is using an attachment of malicious files in emails. The attackers use social engineering techniques to make the email look legitimate. To entice the victim to download the malicious file and enable a malicious macro, we can see the screenshot to the left. Once the user runs the macro, the infection process happens without the user noticing at all. One of the most popular vectors in web inject attack is credential steering. Once a credential theft has been successful, the attacker will have the same account privilege as the victim, which is really bad. In the screenshot, we can find in the dev tool a malicious code that's stealing the credential from the victim. We have seen that the attackers steal more details than just username and password. An attacker can use the value of the fields that we can find in the screenshot in the right, such as user agent, to look more legitimate. Using this detail will make the attacker to seem like an innocent customer and emulate a customer's login session in real time. IBAN swap, hijack money transaction. Now we're gonna see a short example of a digital wallet swap in this demo. As we can see, the site is legitimate and secure in the eye of innocent customer. But if we'll open the inspect and see the code of this website, we'll see a different thing. You see the TKNZ, this is the malicious code. So now we can know that the fraudster inside and the session is dirty. When the continue button is inspected, two continue buttons can be seen in HTML. The original button has a CSS attribute displaying none, and the button we see, it's the button set by the attacker. The customer enters a number of his wallet to buy a digital coins and press on the attacker's continue button. On the network tab, we can see the request that was sent after clicking the button. the victim didn't notice anything suspicious. Because this is IBAN swapping, is a technique that fraudsters use to first get access to an account and then exchange a legitimate account number with the attacker's destination mule account before a found transaction takes place. In this screenshot, we can find the bundle.js file containing the functionality of the transaction. Let's open the code in the Visual Studio. Important to know that all the entire attack is in one line. On the left, the clean code with the wallet address field that collect the information from the site. And on the right, the malicious code with the wallet address that's embedded with the attacker's wallet number. Back to the session. In this case, the victim cannot see the money being transferred to a different wallet because the entire transaction occurs behind the scenes. Moving forward, it's not something new that the attackers are trying to hide themselves. Here is an example, the code snippet taken from the injection of Gauzy and TrickBot analyzed in our lab. In this injection, we will see the special behavior in which the malware tries to hide with the help of various techniques. And now, meet our DB Cooper guy. In our lab, we named him Jumbo. In the screenshot, you can find the comments that the malware operates. He can steal the SMS and the user token and many other things. Notice that the Jumbo word repeat in the function, calling into action the jQuery library that on the malware script-based activity. One of the action Jumbo wishes to take is to automate transactions that start on the desktop browser. To do that, it's designed to swap the international bank account number, which is IBAN, and bank identifier code, which is BIC numbers, from legitimate transaction for an IBAN of an account to the fraudster controls. To launch the fraudulent transaction flow, Jumbo needs to start hook login function that would be clicked by the infected victim. The hook pay function, there Jumbo wait until the user will do the transaction and then he inject his code. The function used to swap the IBAN and plain the transaction parameter is called makeTRF. The amount being transferred is set to move forward if the account's balance is higher than 3,000 euros. On the screenshot, we can find the code snippet where the IBAN is being stolen. So to conclude, attackers use a wide variety of methods of attack, which requires continued learning and the development of research capability. Investigating starts by exploring the traces left by the attacker. What we found in our investigating, as part of the human condition, attackers also make mistakes, and the error can provide our resolution. So, as researchers, we should never give up and look for their traces. Keep up to date with news related to security information by following us on the different networks. There is a link in the list that appears here to a blog written by a colleague about the Jumbo attack that you just heard about. Feel free to click on and read more. Thanks for watching my presentation. I hope you have learned something new and enriched your knowledge. Look forward to seeing you in the following lecture. So special thanks to my managers, Dana Peleg and Segev Fogel. All the credit of this presentation belongs to you.